when anyone you know achieves something like this, it makes you very proud. But for one man who's continually pushed Kell over the years and made sure that he delivers, you know, what he's capable of, it must be a very, very proud achievement. I'd like to call up Kell's dad, Terry, to say a few words.
Thank you. I'd just like to reiterate, you know, what Dominic said earlier. You know, when Kell was young, we recognised he were a very special talent, you know, a natural athlete, and was quite fortunate, you know, in them days to, you know, see what the Ingle Gym were doing and seeing what he were doing with Prince Nassim Hamad. You know, so I looked at Kell and his talent and thought, you know, learn this lad, you know, not to get hit, you know, and he can hit. Then we knew from a young age that he certainly had the talent to become world champion. And I think, well, I know on Saturday last, you know, it was a culmination of all them things all come together all at once, and, you know, I stood there and watched Kell become world champion. You know, after many, many other achievements. I don't know if everybody knows in Sheffield, he was twice Points Club champion, twice ABA champion. He had won the gold medal in the Four Nations, you know. Very, very proud moments for watching him become British champion, you know, watching him basically deal with anything, you know, that they put in front of him. And like I said, the culmination of the proudest moment, I always knew it's, like I said, it's been 90 years in the making and a long, long wait, and sometimes I wondered if we ever got there, you know, but and the new world champion, I'm just glad he brought it back, you know, to the Sheffield people. I hope you'll continue to support him, and let's fill some arenas out in Sheffield and get behind, lads. Thank you.
This has been a great road, obviously, for Terry and for Kell, but none of this would have been possible without your support, the people of Sheffield. When we first signed Kell Brook, he hadn't boxed in Sheffield for a long time, and I remember just literally 50 yards from his front door, we went to the Hillsborough Leisure Centre to fight Lovemore and Doon, and we sold out in about 2 weeks. And I know the venue only holds 1,400, but for those of you that were there that night, the atmosphere was something very, very special, and it was the start of a great journey. I remember talking to him in the changing room that night, and he asked me if it was busy downstairs, and you couldn't move in Hillsborough Leisure Centre that night. And he asked me if he thought he'd get a good reception. And I said, well, they've all come to watch you, so I hope so. And I remember when he walked out that night and he looked around him at the support, and I thought that was the moment that we've got a chance to really build something here in Sheffield. From there we upgraded to the Ponds Forge, a couple of thousand, and he fought Rafael Jakovic. And then we had that great night, the War of the Roses, which was really his breakout night against Matthew Hatton at Sheffield Arena. We sold 9,000 tickets that night, and Kell walked out to now his trademark song, All of the Lights. And I remember the look on his face. He just knew that he'd arrived. From there, he fought Carson Jones. We all remember what happened there. He took his eye off the ball. After the Matthew Hatton fight, I think he thought, you know, I've made it, I've cracked it. But he hadn't. And the Carson Jones fight taught him just how tough the game is. He got his head down. He prepared for Hector Saldivia in the final eliminator. He won that with a brutal knockout. And then the big fight came against Devon Alexander. And from there, 3 heartbreaking withdrawals, 2 from Kell through injury and 1 through Devon Alexander. And I wasn't sure whether we'd see Kell back in the ring after that, because it really took the wind out of him. And for that moment that he prepared for all his life, to lose the opportunity was something really heartbreaking. So to come back with another victory over Carson Jones, and then the great night against Senchenko at Sheffield Arena, he found a way and he battled his way back into contention for that mandatory position, obviously culminating in August the 16th against Sean Porter. Now for the boxing fans here, and even those who aren't boxing fans, to go over against a guy who is regarded as one of the top welterweights in the world in his backyard and win the victory like he did was something very, very special. You have to be a special kind of fighter to go out and achieve that. Kell's now 33-0. There's 3 world champions in the welterweight division: Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather and Kell Brook. Now, there are many world champions in the sport, but we, you, Sheffield, have got a real opportunity to do something very, very special and get behind a legitimate world champion in his hometown. December the 6th is the provisional date at Sheffield Arena, and so many big nights, so many big fights await for Kell Brook. But Kell Brook is not the kind of person that's going to win a world title and give it away. Because the talent that he's got, winning a world title is not enough. He's got to go out, he's got to unify the division, and he's got to become a great in British boxing and in British sport. Amir Khan, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, these are all genuine fights that are very, very achievable for Kell Brook now. But most of all, like we've had from the very, very start, we need your support. And I want to thank everybody for the support, because some of you were out in Carson, some of you obviously weren't. But all the support that Kell Brook received in the lead up to that fight, on fight week and on the night, made him turn into a world champion. So wait for news for December the 6th, and wait for some huge, huge nights for a huge star in Sheffield, a huge star now in British sport, and someone that's going to give us all plenty of entertainment in years to come. So, of course, just received last night from the IBF what it's all about. I'm now going to present Kell with the IBF World title, and thank you all so much for coming out. Kell's going to be available for photos and signings. Come and meet him, and let's all get behind Kell Brook and make a big, big impression in this wonderful city of Sheffield. Thank you very much. Hey, hey.